And some of you know I've been around since I was about 13. So it's the first dua that I learned in the community, and I think it suits us well today. So if you don't mind, I will start off with, surely I've turned myself to thee, O Allah, the sole maker of creation, and I am not a polytheist. Surely my prayer and my sacrifice, my life and my death are all for Allah, the Lord and cherisher of all the worlds. No such as sin, this is my commandment, and of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King, I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So please grant me protection against all my faults, and guide me to the best of morals, but none guides to the best of morals with that. And turn away from me the evil and indecent morals, for none can turn away from me the evil and indecent morals without. And O Allah, make Muhammad successful, and the followers of Muhammad successful, as thou to make Abraham and the followers of Abraham successful, for surely thou art praised and magnified. And O Allah, bless Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad, as thou to bless Abraham and the followers of Abraham, for surely thou art praised and magnified. Amen. Civic engagement, our duty and our responsibility. I repeat, civic engagement, our duty and our responsibility. Civic engagement can take many forms. I'll reference one that I was engaged in when I lived in Chicago. When our leader first came into leadership, he encouraged us to go register to vote. So me and a brother named, at that time, Brother Colvin, who became Brother G. Bilal, went downtown in Chicago and we registered to vote as independents. That was a long time ago. But the initiation for all of that started with our beloved leader, Imam Mohammed. And from that, of course, we set up committees to the masjid. We had a committee called Ways and Means, Sick and Wellness Committee. We had a Culture Committee, Education Committee. About 6 committees were formed to allow people to express their own interests in a cohesive fashion to work together. But the idea of a committee structure, brothers and sisters, that's the foundation of government. We were being given an opportunity to really form a government, almost ideal like the American government to a degree, because we didn't have any guys in that format. Everybody had an equal opportunity to share their opinions. And it was a wonderful opportunity to really get to know each other on a working basis on a more intimate level. And I encourage any masjid or any center, if you don't have a committee structure, consider creating a committee structure for your organizational best efforts. Because people join committees because they want to be a part of it. And when people want to be there, they contribute a whole lot more in that regard. Like it's a well-known document that gave individual citizens their rights. That document, brothers and sisters, is the Medina Charter. And I encourage you, if you've never had a chance to go back and Google it up, take the time. It was the first example of a pluralistic society where everybody had equal access to government as long as you did not break the peace. And that concept evolved from that small Medina Charter eventually into Europe as a part of the Magna Carta signed in 1215 by King John by force. Because those barons got tired of giving them his wealth and they didn't have a voice in government. So he did it under duress. And eventually that led into what became known as the English Bill of Rights. And eventually when this country became to stretch its muscles and gain its own independence and write the Declaration of Independence, some of those same ideas, brothers and sisters, are written in that document. Now, our leader quite often refers to that second paragraph in the Declaration of Independence as an Islamic concept. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. But among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's just the first sentence. That's an Islamic concept. Now, if they were wiser, they would have said all human beings. We know better now. But they were writing in the 1700s, and they were not as enlightened as we are today. But the idea that your gods gave you rights that no government can take away from you, that again, brothers and sisters, is an Islamic concept. And it also gives you justification for you being civically engaged. At birth, by the grace of Almighty God Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have a responsibility, and you have a duty to make a contribution to the government that you live in. And this government's design is parliamentary procedures, the 3 branches of government. All of that was established in the Medina Charter. So in fact, if you research it further, the idea of having a consultative body comes straight from the Holy Quran. And people took that concept, specifically people like Thomas Jefferson. So there's a direct link. That's what I'm trying to give to you, brothers and sisters. A direct link between this form of government and our Quranic principles. So we should be eager, be steadfast in defending this idea of democracy as expressed in those documents. The founding ideas are strictly Islamic concepts. And in time, by the grace of Allah, all of us got included in the Constitution. And in time, the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendments were added to the Constitution, and it expanded these rights of most citizens in this country. And eventually the 19th Amendment gave women the right to finally vote. I'm saying that to say there's a graduation in people's thinking and their development, but all that would only be possible because of the Quranic influence on how people should be governed in a true democratic society.